So, can we do it? In a world that is speeding up, and speeding us up with it, can we slow down? Hashem did so. In Bereshis Beis, describing the original Shabbos, the Torah writes, Vayishbos Bayom HaShvi, and he rested on the seventh day. In Shmos Yutes, the Torah recounts the original Shabbos. It says, Vayanach Bayom HaShvi, and he rested on the seventh day. He rested, and he rested. Shavas and Menucha. What is the difference? And what is the relationship between the two? Shavas is cessation from work, a halt to activity, a stoppage. Vayishbos bayom hashvi mikol malachto. And he was shavas, he stopped from all his work on the seventh day. But what is menucha? Chazal, our sages, teach us, Ma haya ha'olam chaser. What was the world lacking? Menucha. Ba Shabbos ba menucha. When Shabbos came, menucha came. Menucha is not the absence of work. Menucha is a state of tranquility, of restfulness. So we have Shabbos, stop to activity, and then we have menucha, a state of tranquility. What is the relationship between the two? Parshas Mishpatim answers this question. Sheishes yamim ta'aseh ma'asecha. 6 days you will do your work. Uvayom hashvi tishbos. On the seventh day you will shavas, you will stop. Laman yanuach. In order to have menucha. So Shabbos, a stoppage for the purpose of menucha, that state of tranquility. So the Torah says, Olam etes malachos, 39 types of activity we are not to do. Our sages add muktzah, not to move it. Yeshaya Navi says v'daber davar, not to speak of it. Don't use it, don't move it, don't talk about it. Cessation. Rabbi Zevis said, originally when I saw the sages running on Shabbos, I said, the sages are desecrating the Shabbos. Machalin Rabbanos Shabbos. Because to run on Shabbos is chilul Shabbos. Is to desecrate that stoppage. But what is the purpose of the menucha? That state of tranquility. So listen to the beautiful words of a present-day Rebbe, of Mordechai Zilber of Stuchin. And he writes, for in the depth of the soul, man has exceedingly deep inner powers. These are revealed to man only when he is not preoccupied, but in the state of menuchas hanefesh. Whereas when one's being is preoccupied, the nature is that then those powers conceal themselves, immediately returning, being reabsorbed into the soul, inactive and unexposed. Then it is only the outer limbs and external powers that are active. If it were possible to take a picture of this, you would see how due to preoccupation, the inner powers of the soul recede into the soul and remain there hidden, dormant, and inactive, with only the external powers being active then. When this occurs, man is far from his true self and not connected to his essence. These deep powers need menucha and solitude. The Baal Shem Tov said in regard to Rabbi Yitzchak of Hamburg that the divine spirit, the Shechina, rested upon him from the high holy days, the Yom Noraim, until Sukkos, and then would depart. For the fair came to Amsterdam. Then, and his preoccupation with the fair, and the settlement of feuds, which he had to arbitrate, caused the divine spirit to leave. So the purpose of the menucha is that these unique and great inner powers of the neshama that speak to us can come forth. And of course, on Shabbos, described as Beini Uvein B'nai Yisrael, that which is between me and the Jewish people. It binds us. Or as the Medrash says, it's a mashal, it's a parable to the king and the queen sitting alone in the room. But it's not enough just to have Shabbos on Shabbos. We need to have Shabbos in the chol on the weekday. For the purpose of why we came into this world, and certainly in the time that we live in, we need to have that Shabbos in the week. The volume of stuff that we need to take care of, the never-ending list of the to-do list, and the constant communication and global connectivity brought to us by technology says we need to stop. And you know, it's very difficult for us when we come to shul, for example, to turn off the phone. It's difficult. We want to keep it on, vibrates. We're connected to that world. We have a zika, an attachment to it. We are curious to know who's wanting to reach us and what the email is saying. We need what Mordechai Zilber calls hitnatkus v'hispodidus. Hitnatkus is detachment, to disconnect, to detach. At some point in the day, to stop all that activity. And when it comes in the form of technology, that means to turn it off. I learned this lesson from some businessmen. I learned with at their office. They turn off their phones before we begin to learn. And sometimes one of them collects the phones of the others and takes them out of the room. Because as they say, this is the hour in the week we dedicate to spiritual matters. It cannot be interfered with. Hitnatkus, detachment. Hispodidus. Listen to how Rav Mordechai Zilber describes hispodidus. Tifrok mi'al nishmascha, to throw off from upon your soul. Es halachatz harovetz alea, the pressure that is upon it. Mi'devarim zarim and achutz, from external matters, from the outside. V'tein la lihipateach v'latzeis mitoch masra, and allow it to expand and to come forth. Emergence. Hisbodidus is to allow these inner powers, these phenomenal kochos in the Jewish soul to emerge. Hitnatkus v'hisbodidus, or Shabbos menucha, to stop, or to detach, and to bring forth, to emerge. There are many places where we can begin. One place is where we are already doing hitnatkus. When we come to shul, and we're turning off that phone, and trying to turn off the buzz that remains even when it's off. It's a time for hisbodedus. To be alone with the true self. That self that is the external self, when it's preoccupied with all that activity, we can return to the true self. When we stop in the middle of tefillah, prayer, and start to think, to experience, to absorb his presence, hisbodedus. With that, we can begin to hear the extraordinary things the neshama is telling us and have a true Shabbos.